Shalom. I want to begin a lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arakakodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Back with another lesson through the spirit, man. Just going to be talking about this dude, Donald Trump, in this article that I came across that caught my attention when I seen something in the headline, something crazy, and I was like, what the hell? So I'm gonna go ahead and read this and bring out some precepts concerning the topic. It's kind of a short article, so I don't know how long this video is gonna be. But call lawyer how about you, Shai 144. But yeah, man. Just go ahead and read it and see where the spirit takes me. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, one of the things that just happened is apparently at midnight today, the tariffs on China is supposed to be increased to 104%, right? And also seen a report that the Chinese stock market is also crashing as well. So just a little bit of update on that. There was also another thing I wanted to say. But it slipped in my mind. It's okay. Well, I just want to get this. It says, Trump pushes back on tariff criticism. Don't be a panicking. And I read an article that was similar to this in my camp on Saturday, where it was basically telling the American people to calm down, all that stuff. We're going to get through these tariffs and stuff like that. And basically just telling them to be patient and don't worry, right? So tariffs are like, basically, if you don't know, are heavy taxes that he's implementing on foreign countries such as Canada, Mexico, China, Russia, etc., right, which is creating more adversaries for the United States rather than allies, okay? We're putting massive tariffs on countries that surround us, man, Canada and Mexico, okay? So the trade wars is starting to ramp up. And I did have another article that I saved concerning that, so I might get that as well. And then what I did want to mention, I remember now, the Wadi Al-Bashim shot. I find it funny how, remember everyone was panicking and whatnot about all these plane crashes in, what was that, January and February, and a little bit into March. And now people have just started to stop talking about it. Okay, that's how quick the focus can shift, because I damn near forgot about it, right? So let's read this, man, and I'll see if it mentions where yep, there it is. So it says, President Trump on Monday pushed back on criticism over his tariffs, calling on Americans to be patient and not to be a panicking. Coining a new term, the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking. A new party based on weak and stupid people. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. Trump said on Truth Social. He later said, actually, y'all know what precept I'm about to go to, man. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of the darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober, right? So, everything going on in the world, especially here in America, we have to be vigilant, circumspect, aware of what's going on. Now is not the time to be in a state where you're moving slow, you're dragging your feet, right? You need to be a watchman, man, okay? And that's basically what Donald Trump is saying, man. We have to be aware of what's going on. And basically Donald Trump is saying what I just said in the scripture, man, peace and safety, okay? Peace and safety. Don't worry. Everything's under control. We just have to get through this and it'll be all right, right? And there's going to be moments in the future where it's going to be worse, more so in like a movie type of setting. I could see that happening, right? So this isn't too crazy, but the fact that he's saying and telling people to not panic or be at ease, so to speak, with everything that's going on, man. And there's no telling when this shit could go down, right? We're living day by day, okay? Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Just remember that, man. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Daily, we watching, looking the news, hoping for good news, right? Hoping to see that shit has hit the fan and whatnot. So just be aware, man. When they telling you to be calm and be not to worry, that's when you should know shit is about to go down. Okay? I'm not saying that this is the case necessarily, but this is the second time I've seen this nigga talk about this in an article, right? So Lord willing, something big will come from this. Okay, we're just patiently waiting. Oh yeah, I want to get something else as well. Let me see. Let me read this again. For when they shall say peace and safety, and sudden destruction comes upon them as trouble. Okay, I remember now. The people are definitely panicking, man. You see people out here every day making videos and whatnot, talking about the downfall, World War III. It's in a lot of people's topics. A lot of these Edomite women, like the elder brother Malcolm said in his lesson today, you can tell that the status of a nation based on how its women act. A lot of these Edomite women have been exposing Edom, man, Esau, as well as Amalek. Okay, and they're continuing to do it, and they're also continuing to cleave under Jake men for good reason. Okay. This is Proverbs 29:1, and this is going to explain why these people are mourning while they're in that state, okay? He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. This is Proverbs 29:1, warnings and instructions. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, right? So we are aware that the wicked are in rulership over the earth, over this land, over this earth age, okay, so to speak, this time period, right? Esau, Edom, has been in rulership since when? The rebirth, the Renaissance, right? Because before then, that was the last time Jake was in rulership of the earth, okay? So since the late early 1400s, like me and the brother and I were speaking on last night, okay? And this kingdom, America, Babylon the Great, has been around for 250 years. Next year, it'll be 250 years, okay? So the people are mourning, man. The people are mourning for good reason. Whoso loveth wisdom rejoiceth his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots spendeth his substance. Okay. So I don't want to. Let me see. We will be merry. This is 2nd Ezra 2:27. Be not weary. Let me see. Shall I start here? All right, come. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Right? And up and before that it says, as for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. And right below that, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. So ultimately, Lord willing, we be at that number, man. We're gonna be, as a reason, the scriptures hidden from the for hidden in the day of the Lord's wrath, right? That fire and brimstone, because we are at we've been in the latter days over 2,000 years since Yahushua came back, and it speaks on that, or since Yahushua was here, right? Since Yahushua was here. So, and it speaks on that in the book of Matthew, where it talks about the beginning of the end times, right? In the book of Matthew 24. So these people are worrying for good reason. He's telling them to be, not to panic and stuff like that. He later said countries no longer will be able to abuse and take advantage of the U.S., which really the U.S. has been doing that to other countries. With his tariff plan, which applied 10% tariffs to trading partners and additional higher tariffs to dozens of countries. Well, I could have sworn that the Edomites were the ones who want to use those workers in the sweatshops because it was a lot cheaper for their companies. But hey, what do I know? Oil prices are down, interest rates are down. The slow-moving Fed should cut rates. Food prices are down. There is no inflation. That was what took me out, man. Right? The food prices are down. Now, mind you, we've seen a fluctuation of inflation since 2020, and I have statistics to back that up, right? I live by myself. It cost me over $100 to feed myself for a week and a half worth of food. And that's not even a full shopping cart of food. But we're not in inflation. And a long time abused USA is bringing in billions of dollars a week from the abusing countries on tariffs that are already in place. It's the thing, man. The price of things continues to go up, but people are being paid the same amount. So the cost of things versus how much people are paying it's not adding up, man. And there are many different studies on that. I'm not gonna go into it. You all should look that up if you have some time to, because it's very interesting how that works. Trump said on Truth Social, he added, "This is despite this." Actually, let me get that real quick. And I'll finish this and then get it. He added, "This is despite the fact that the beginning abuser of them all, China, whose markets are crashing, just raised its tariffs by 34%, on top of its long-term ridiculous high tariffs, plus not acknowledging my warning for abusing countries not to retaliate. They've made enough for decades, taking advantage of the good old USA. Our past leaders are to blame for allowing this and so much else to happen to our country. So here Esau Edom is, they're playing the victim card like they love to do. And you're telling the country not to retaliate when you started putting tariffs on them. And you threatened them first. Okay. We can get Psalm 58 and 3 for that. Actually, let me see. Is this the right? Let me make sure this is the right precept. Here it is, Con. It says Proverbs 6 and verse 12, a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth, right? Crookedness. Okay? He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, meaning mind. He deviseth mischief continually, he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things doth Yahweh hate, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Okay? And that's what he's doing, man. He's speaking with a froward mouth, right? And that's just in Edom's nature, man. They are known to be liars, right? They're slick, smooth as oil. Distortion, crookedness, right? Perversity, froward. And that word distortion, misrepresentation, warp. And it's really talking about verse 2, or this second one. Perversion, twisting, falsification, misreporting. That's all they do, man. They falsify everything. Literally, this whole fucking nation was built off of falsification. Alteration, change, tampering, tinkering, doctoring, prejudice. Okay? What are worthless? This is in NLT, verse 12. What are worthless and wicked people like? They are constant liars, right? Constant liars, man. Signaling their deceit with a wink of the eye, a nudge of the foot, or the wiggle of fingers. Their perverted hearts plot evil, and they constantly stir up trouble, right? Here it is. This man said that when he got in office, he was going to end these wars. This nigga has continued to stir up trouble between multiple countries, create more and more allies, or Salakia, create more and more enemies, and push off allies. There has been no progress since and this nigga's only been in office for March, February, March. He ain't even been in office for 3 months. He's been in office for what, 2.5 months now? So let's read that again, man. Their perverted hearts plot evil and they constantly stir up trouble. But they will be destroyed suddenly, broken in an instant beyond all hope of healing, right? And Esau Edom hasn't faced that final judgment yet, man. That's that final judgment they're gonna face on this side. Because it's gonna be things that happen to them on the other side as well. But on this side, that final judgment, is those ICBMs coming over and destroying this bitch with the lake of fire, man. The lake of fire and brimstone. This place is gonna be a desolation, and Babylon is gonna be a fucking remembrance, man. Right? And then on the other side, they're gonna go into captivity like they led us into captivity. Right? That's gonna be their judgment, and the Lord's gonna have indignation with them forever. Okay? For all the wicked things they've done on earth. They will be destroyed suddenly, broken in an instant beyond all hope of healing, right? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. There are 6 things the Lord Yahweh hates. No, 7 things he detests. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent. What have Esau Edom done? They call other people terrorists. But they're single-handedly they have the highest kill count out of any nation of people on earth today. A heart that plots evil, they do that all the time. Feet that race to do wrong. A false witness who pours out lies. A person who sows discord in a family. The wicked, man. The president and White House officials have been defending the plan, which was announced last week and sparked recession fears and a stock market plummet. Right, and we've been watching that. I've spoken on that before. Trump said Sunday he was elected because of the tariffs, telling reporters they will make the U.S. $1 trillion by next year. Billionaire hedge fund investor Bill Ackman, who endorsed Trump last year, offered a stark warning Sunday that tariffs would cause the economy to collapse while hurting Trump supporters the most. CNBC host Jimmy Cramer warned of the possibility that an event similar to Black Monday could occur, which is a reference to the market collapse of 1987 if Trump sticks to his tariff plans. And I've been hearing references about that all week. Black Monday. The tariffs apply to nearly every country that exports goods to the U.S. and cause concern for higher prices domestically, while the White House insists they will bring jobs to the U.S. and has called on Wall Street and critics to trust Trump. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna get for ending off this lesson. The Dow Jones Industrial Average opened sharply down on Monday morning, hitting negative 1,500 points by 9:40 a.m. Investors are bracing for a tough Monday after the Dow lost nearly 4,000 points over Thursday and Friday, following Trump's announcement on Wednesday. Okay. I'm not gonna go deep into this, man. I'm probably just gonna read the first couple of paragraphs. It says, China makes chilling vow to fight the U.S. to the end over tariffs as trade war explodes. China has vowed to fight to the end and hit back against Donald Trump's tariffs despite his threats of an additional 50% on China's imports. That's what I was talking about, that 1 or 4%. The Commerce Ministry labeled the U.S.'s proposed so-called reciprocal tariffs as baseless and a form of unilateral bullying. As the world's second largest economy, China has already set retaliatory tariffs in motion and suggests that more could follow. The countermeasures China has taken are aimed at safeguarding its sovereignty, security, and development interests and maintaining the normal international trade order. They're completely legitimate, the ministry says. The U.S. threat to escalate tariffs on China is a mistake on top of a mistake, and once again exposes the blackmailing nature of the U.S. China will never accept this. If the U.S. insists on its own way, China will fight to the end, the ministry declared. Basically, China's saying that they're not a hoe. And if the U.S. wants to do it, they can do it. So I'm going to get this in closing. Concerning what Donald Trump said, or what that person said at the end where they saying, trust Donald Trump. Okay, motherfucker. And this is for all Israelites, right? It's concerning y'all. This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. And this is just really the point of this whole video, what we just learned, right? As a reminder, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Call law Yahweh Ba'Hashem and Oshai Ba'Hashem Harakakodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Once again, who taught us his truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem and Oshai. Until next time, I say Shalom Israel. Shalom.